I do, folks. How you doing? Just a quick one. It's been a while. We're going to be discussing tax on this one. Now, we have got our irons in a couple of different fires at the minute, but this tax situation's come through before anything else, so here we go. We're going to discuss it. Now, I've been working on tax for quite some time, and I've made a couple of videos explaining to folks that income tax is a voluntary contribution. It's an exchange. In effect, what you do for your money is an exchange. You exchange your sweat equity for fair remuneration. You've just been conned into thinking that you need to pay some of that exchange to somebody else. You absolutely don't. Why would you? You decide that your time is worth X amount, you get X amount for your time, and then you give somebody else a portion of that. Now, you didn't get X amount for your time, did you? So did you misvalue yourself, or did some third party interloper step in the middle and convince you had to give them some money? I would say the latter. But anyway, that's beside the point. For now, we'll discuss. I have a template in Wonky World files section on Facebook group Wonky World, the template to start off dealing with the taxman. Now, unfortunately, that's not a managed process. It's there, you can start it. You have to be as tenacious as the taxman. You have to respond to anything he responds to, and like I say, I can't manage that because there's just too many people and it takes too much time up. We do a managed process for the taxman for income tax, and that's proven and tested and been doing that for quite some time, but years in fact. But the reality is we've got corporation tax. Now, that's something that we haven't been able to deal with because the very nature of corporation tax makes it valid. It's something that you must pay tax on when you're in business. That's corporate. That's the whole point of your legal fiction is corporate. Your living flesh and blood status, that's kind of not, isn't it? So if you decide you're exchanging your sweat equity for fair remuneration and you're getting your remuneration in your hand, like I say, you don't really need to be sharing that with anybody. So like I say again, up until now, corporation tax we haven't been able to affect because it's a legitimate tax. But we've cracked it. It's took us quite some time, and yeah, we've finally cracked it. And this is utilising offshore technologies. Now, going offshore, it does change the realm entirely because you're not trying to get out of paying tax. You're paying your absolute obligated tax liabilities, which is zero. So this is pretty much how that's done. Obviously, there's quite a lot more to it, but ultimately, when you're offshore, the tax liability is zero. It's not a case of getting away with something. It's not a way with getting out of something. But this is now something we are able to offer as a process. Also, when doing this, there's two angles to it, because not everybody wants to go quite as extreme as we have worked out, should I say. But saying that, there is another process for those that don't want to go that far, whereas we can get your tax liability down to a very, very low amount without actually going quite so extreme as going offshore. But that's down to you guys, what you want, what people want of us. But we are here and available for a chat, so if anybody wants to chat about this, the email is in the description. It's info@trustassetprotectors.com. Give me a shout and we can arrange a chat, and we can arrange something whereby we can have a look at your tax liabilities and see if we can get them down to zero or down to next to nothing. The choice is pretty much yours on how far you're prepared to go, what you want to do, but the processes are there and absolutely solid. So like I say, give us a shout if you want to discuss that. The taxman can get quite tenacious, And I get some people who don't like dealing with the taxman, but we are here. We have dealt with the taxman quite a lot over the years, and quite adept at making him see the error of his ways, or see the facts at law, should I say, because that's the reality of it. It is a point of law. You're not trying to get away with something, and this is a big misconception where tax is concerned. People believe they're trying to get away with something, or others believe that you're trying to get away with something when you're basically just trying to stand on the law and fulfill your lawful obligations, but aren't prepared to be stolen from or convinced that you should be paying somebody that you shouldn't. It's quite a bizarre situation we find ourselves in these days, whereby the people have been convinced of some really strange things over a very, very long time, and it's gone on for so long, so many generations now, it just feels natural. But when you stop and question, hang on a minute, why do I owe anybody anything out of what I exchange my sweat equity for? And it's a mindset, it's how you think about what you're doing. If you're working for a living, you're earning a wage, you're bringing home income, then absolutely you're taxable. That's how they've played this game. It's all a word game, and they've convinced you to say certain words, use certain words in certain scenarios, and those words are what bind you to their corporation or their corporate obligations, should I say. So you alter the way that you talk, you alter the words that you use. Now I'm not big into this inner stand and this, that and the other that people say, and trying to alter your words to plain English. Now when we're actually talking, or should I say I use plain English as opposed to altering my words to not so. Now there's different meanings for different things. Absolutely, the law use legalese. They do have different meanings for different words, and we use those words, and then we give joinder because they've perceived those words as they would use them. Now we counter that by using plain simple English. You make clear that you're speaking in plain simple English, you're not using legalese. If any other language is going to be used, you require a translator. You're not fluent in their babble. You don't speak any other languages, or even if you do, the chances are you don't speak legalese, which is their babble. Now if they want to speak in legalese, you clearly need a translator, because the playing field isn't even. You're not dealing with a clean deck of cards. It's stacked in their favour, whereby they're using words and misinterpreting the words that you use. Now if you can't understand the words that they use, and they refuse to accept the words you use in their obvious meaning and will change them to suit themselves, then like I say, unfair advantage, uneven playing field. So plain simple English, plain simple counting systems. You're not bound by their language, and you're not bound to talk like an idiot so you don't fall into those traps. When you're talking to your friends, to people in general, you're speaking plain English. You're just chatting, you're just having a chat, having a word, talking. Now if you're writing notes as talking to officialdom, then yes, you have to be careful what you have to say to them. You have to ensure that you don't fall into those traps, because they are going to misinterpret words purposely. They're going to misinterpret them to the way it suits them. So just make sure you don't fall in that trap when you're talking to them. But like I say, you don't need to talk like an idiot when you're talking to each other. You really don't. You don't have to do all this inner stand and that shit. It's plain simple English. I understand. I don't understand. It's as simple as that. When you're talking to the system, understand, yes, means that you stand under their authority. When you're talking to me, it don't mean anything of the sort. It means you comprehend something. You're talking to your friend, or traffic has just absolutely blocked everything up. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so just be aware of what you're saying and to who you're saying it, because in general, when you're just chatting to each other, it means nothing at all. And don't let anybody tell you it does. It's MK Ultra. They're just warping your fucking mind, and there's no need for it whatsoever. But for the main part, just be aware of who you are, what you're doing, and what your rights are. Your rights do stand, even if the system would like you to believe that you don't have any. You actually do. So if you want to chat, give us a call. We do a paid chat anyway, so if anybody wants to call and talk about anything else in general, the link's in the description, the email's in the description. Drop us a line, tell us what you want to discuss, and I'll get back to you and we'll arrange a chat and work that out. Like I say, there is a fee for it. Nobody works for free, and we find that if there isn't a fee, the energy vampires come out of the woodwork and they take literally every minute you've got. So for those that say you should talk to people for free, you should do everything for free, this isn't for you. We're not for you. You need those that are just fresh in this game and new in this game and haven't worked out yet that you will drain their souls. But like I say, for those that are serious, we are there. Give us a shout and we'll go through your liabilities and see what we can sort out. On that note, folks, have a good one, and I'll speak to you shortly. Ta-da!